Very good morning, my dear students. So in this PPT I am going to explain you about the two topics, that is a contamination and the heat exchangers. Okay, so what do you mean by contamination in a fluid hydrolysis power system, and how to transfer the heat exchange from one part to another part. Okay, so let me understand first before going to this contamination. So what do you mean by contamination? So normally in hydraulic power system we have a big storage device like tank and reservoir. If something raw material is stored in bottom, then the entire system going to get collapsed. Okay, so that is called as a contamination. Okay, so that is in terms of fluid. Okay, fluid contamination, it is one of the leading causes of a hydraulic power system to failure in the most application. Okay, so if we are not going to filter the given fluid, then it is safe. If you are not going to filter the fluid system, means again some raw material will be there, that raw material enters into the hydraulic all the parts, then there is a damage of all the parts takes place. Okay, so due to this the entire hydraulic power system going to be collapsed. Okay, so fluid contamination is nothing but it is one of the leading causes of a hydraulic system failure. Okay, so in most almost all the applications. Okay, so it is important to recognize the potential source causing the contamination to effectively handle to issue at any stage or at any hand. Okay, so we are going to put together the most common possibility of how fluid contamination may occur. Okay, so how it going to occur. So what is the most common contaminant in a hydraulic power system? During working process, that is in a hydraulic power system. In hydraulic power system the contaminant can be either a solid particle or maybe liquid particle or maybe any dust or whatever, that is the most common. Okay, so solid particle contaminate by chemically reacting with a fluid or fouling the system through accumulation. Okay, so if you are not going to filter that raw material, that will goes into chemical reaction, again there is a corrosive tear takes place of the hydraulic power system. Okay, so what are the effect of hydraulic fluid system? Okay, so by reducing the effect of contamination on hydraulic fluid for hydraulic fluid power system, at least 75% of all the hydraulic power system fail due to the contaminated or aging hydraulic fluid. Okay, so almost in nowadays, if you go the aerospace industry, that is automobile industry, 90% is the failure of the component takes place because of non-maintenance. Okay, the maintenance is not properly and operator also take negligently. Okay, so because of this the hydraulic power system can be failure. Okay, so contamination, even if a single or even a one contamination causes aging or degradation of the fluid and hydraulic system failure for a numerous reason. Okay, so even a small amount of dust particle also is there, means the entire system will get failure. Okay, so we have to check properly every day. We have to clean the hydraulic power system. We have to pass the liquid through filtration. Okay, it is also a part of hydraulic power system. So there are the 5 most common solid particle types of found in the fluid hydraulic system. They are, first one is the metal, silica, elastomers, fibers, rust. Okay, so these are the 5 parts, common solid particle contamination takes place in the hydraulic power system. Okay, next. So next one is next one is how does the contamination get into a system. So how we are going to generate, how that contamination will occur. Okay, so normally when filling with a new liquid fluid, okay, when you fill a new fluid in a reservoir tank, first we have to see that first we have to go clean the previous liquid. Okay, so before that, without cleaning that one, if you are added some new fluid filling in that reservoir, there is a chance of contamination. Okay, so second one is a quick couplers. Okay, quick couplers means connecting two parts. So here also there is a chance. Okay, and next third one is through the breather. Okay, and fourth one is the cylinder rods scratches. Okay, so near to the cylinder there is a chance of contamination of particle. Next, fifth one is a bad top of the tank gaskets. Okay, and sixth one is the exposed ports during the repair. During repairment also there is a chance of keeping some dust particle in the component, and wound seal and brand new hydraulic fluid. Okay, so these are the 8 component get contaminated into the hydraulic power system. Okay, so first, whatever component, not only hydraulic power system, first if you want to clean any machines of the hydraulic power system, means we have to clean through full all the parts. We have to should clean first, then we are going to operate the system. Okay, next, causes of contamination. If you are not cleaning the that contamination, if you are not removing that contamination means what going to be happen, what is the main reason, what is the causes of this contaminants left in the system during assembly or subsequent maintenance work going to be damaged. Okay, and second one is it will generate when running in the system, such as a wear particle, sludge and varnish due to the fluid oxidation, and rust and water due to the condensation. Okay, third one is contaminants are introduced into the system from the outside also. These includes the using the wrong fluid when the topping up and dirt particle introduced by the contaminant tools or repair components. Okay, these are some causes of contaminant. Okay, next question is what are the problems caused by the contamination. Okay, so what is the problem? First problem is it will accelerate the component, that is a wear and tear takes place, and decrease the system performance and service life also, and result in a sludging operation and causes the moving parts to the size is also not proper, and sludge area we can get, and damage the seal resulting in a leakage. There is a chance of leakaging. And the fourth one is acts as a catalyst to accelerate the hydraulic fluid oxidation and breakdown, thereby shortening the fluid life and reducing the useful operating temperature range of the fluid. If containment remains same in the system, means there is a temperature variation takes place. Okay, so these are the four problem faced with the present in the contamination. Okay, next one is how you are going to control the contamination in the hydraulic power system. Okay, there are many ways to reduce the effect of contamination in the hydraulic power system. So first one is from the system with the pipes, the need pipes, you have to fix the proper tubing and fitting that are reasonably free from the rust, okay, scale, dirt and other foreign matter. And the second one is a flush the entire hydraulic system fully with the same type of fluid and use before the normal system operation in begun. Okay, third one is a filter the hydraulic fluid can be filtered before using it, okay, to minimize the introducing the contaminant into the system. So before using the any oil, we are going to filter, then we are going to use to operate the hydraulic power system. Okay, so these are the three important methods to control the contamination in hydraulic power system. Okay, and next one is that is again next question, next few more prevention, okay, of controlling. Okay, so fourth one is to provide the continuous protection from the airborne contamination by sealing the hydraulic system or installing the air filter breather. Okay, we are going to install the filters properly, that is air filter, and clean or replace filter elements or in routine basis. Every day we are going to clean or replace any part of a hydraulic power system. Okay, don't use old components to run the hydraulic power system. Sixth one is to maintain the fluid viscosity and the pH level within the fluid supplier recommendation. Also, these are also very important. The fluid viscosity we have to maintain proper, and minimize the source of water entry into the hydraulic power system. Okay, the entry of water should not be more than that required. Okay, so if you are using more water, then again the system is corrupted. And the eighth one is to avoid the infusing the thread sealant into the fluid stream. Okay, so these are the some 8 points to reduce hydraulic power contamination in hydraulic power system. Okay, so next one is this heat exchanges. Okay, so what is a heat exchange in hydraulic power system? So normally heat exchange it is nothing but it is a device used to transfer the heat from one fluid to another fluid without directing contact of the fluid. Okay, so it is a transmission of the fluid from one system to another system without directing the contact of the fluid. Okay, so heat exchangers contain a hot fluid that flows through the one part of the exchangers and transfer it into the either to a cool fluid or hot fluid. Okay, so this is about the heat exchange. Heat exchange transfer the heat from one fluid to another fluid without directing the contact of the liquid, that is a fluid, is called as heat exchange in a hydraulic power system. Then how does heat exchange work in a hydraulic power system? So normally it work by using that is by burning the natural gases. Okay, making a line or grid of the hot gases jets that are fired upward over the water flowing through the network of the pipe. Okay, so as the water pumps through the pipes, it absorbs the heat energy and heat ups. This arrangement is what we mean by the heat exchanger. Okay, the gas jet cool down and the water heats up. Okay, so this is about the working of heat exchange. Heat exchange is nothing but how it will work means with the help of burning of the natural gases. Okay, with the help of this burning of natural gases, we are going to transfer the heat from one fluid to another fluid with the help of some pipe. Okay, so like this it will work. Next, what is a heat transfer pump? So what do you mean by heat transfer pump in hydraulic power system? It is a device that transfer the heat energy from one source of heat to another source, that is a sink. So the heat is delivering or reaching, that is called as a sink. Okay, heat sink is called as heat transfer pump. Heat pumps moves the thermal energy in the opposite direction of the spontaneous heat transfer, okay, by absorbing the heat from the cold space and releasing it into the warm one. Okay, so this is about the hydraulic transformation pump from one system to another system in a hydraulic power system by releasing warm hot water from the given fluid liquid. Okay, next one is heat pump. So what is the main function of heat pump in a hydraulic power system? So heat pump, it is a device that transfers the heat energy from one source of heat to other one, that is a thermal reservoir, or another part is called as thermal reservoir. Okay, heat pumps moves the thermal energy in opposite direction of spontaneous heat transfer by absorbing the heat from the cold space and releasing it into a warm one. Okay, so this is about the heat pump. And heat pump uses an external power to accomplish the work of transferring the energy from the heat sources to the heat sink. Okay, the most common design of a heat pump involves the four main components, it is a condenser, expansion valve, evaporator, and compressor. Already we have studied this condenser, compression, expansion valve, and evaporator function. Okay, so in the heat transfer medium is circulated through these components called as a refrigerant. Okay, so the refrigerant are used in a hydraulic power system. Okay, that is maybe an ammonia, or that whatever maybe. Okay, refrigerant also. Okay, so this is about the heat pump and heat exchangers and containment in a hydraulic power system. I hope you understand this concept. Thank you.